We now need to prepare the file to be able to be laser cut, and that's not straightforward because the file formats that we can most likely accept, there are a number, but the most common that we're going to accept are the Dxf format and the Adobe Illustrator format. And both of these are flat file formats. They are not 3D file formats. From those two formats, we can then send them to the laser cutter, and the laser cutter can cut them out. Fusion can export sketches to a Dxf format, and there's a special way that we're going to be able to do that. So let's look at how to do that now. Now we have to create the files that we can use to laser cut this. And we can't just do a make and go to STL. What we've got to do is we've got to convert each one of these faces into a special type of file. I'm going to create a new component, and the special type of file is going to be called Dxf. So I'm going to call this new component Dxf files. It's not really going to be Dxf files, but there it is. It's a new component. So we've got our main component, and we've got our new component here, and this has gone all see-through and everything, which is sort of helpful. And we need to create 3 Dxf files because this side and this side are the same. We only need one copy of it. We don't need 2 copies of it unless it was different. So if I had a hole through this one but no hole through that one, then that would be an issue. I'll have to make a separate Dxf file, but I don't, because they're all the same. I also have to make one for the front and one for the back, so there's a second file there, and I had to make a third file for the base. So in order to do this, I'm going to make sure I have nothing selected. So I'm going to click over here, I'm going to press escape so that nothing's happening. I'm now going to use or press the create sketch button. And I'm going to press create sketch cut button by first pressing on one of the side panels. It's taken me to the side panel. I'm now going to hit stop sketch. And you can see that that side panel's changed color, and if I move over it, I can see that sketch. If I look into here, and I look into sketches, so this is dotted, so this is where I'm drawing. This is my side panel here, so I'm going to call this one side panel. Okay, so I've created that sketch as the side panel. I'm now going to create another sketch, making sure nothing is selected. I'm going to press create sketch and click on now the front/back panel and press stop sketch. I've now created a sketch called front back panel. I now just need to create the bottom, so let's look at the bottom there. Create a sketch, nothing selected. On the bottom, press stop sketch and call this one base. So these are my 3 files that I'm going to use to create a Dxf file. I'm now going to right click and go save as Dxf. I'm going to basically create a folder, so I'm just going to create the folder on my desktop, and my new folder is going to be called pencil box, because this is what I'm creating, or a pen box. I'm going to hit create, and on my pencil box I'm going to create the side panel, so this is the first one called the side panel, and hit save. I'm going to repeat that process for all of these panels, and that should basically mean that I can send those files to be laser cut. Once you have all your Dxf files, it's a good idea to take them and put them into Illustrator. But why would we want to do that? Well, the first thing is that we can easily lay out multiple parts for a single cut. Rather than actually having those done at the laser cutter, we can do them on a file that is on our own computer and then send those to the technician to be able to do the cutting. The second thing is that we can do adding of etch features, such as example, we can add a text to one of our faces without worrying too much about those problems of formatting and that sort of thing. And we can also communicate which lines we want the technician to cut and which lines we want them to etch by using colors in Adobe Illustrator. Here we are in Adobe Illustrator, and we're going to create a new file that is the size of our material. So I'm going to create new, and my material is going to be 600 by 400. So let's just say that's the size of my material. The reason why you create something the size of your material is so you can be assured that you're not running out of material. I'm going to give the document a title, and it's going to be called Pencil Box. And I'm going to hit OK. So on my pencil box now, I'm going to basically go File, Save As, and save it straight away to the same folder on my desktop at the moment as this one. So this is my pencil box. And I'm going to press OK. I'm now going to go File, and I'm going to go Place. And in the File place, I'm going to place all 3 files, 1, 2, and 3, in there. And you'll get this icon like this, and it's going to place this one first. So I'm going to place it up here in the top corner. I'm going to place my next one. You can see I get these lineups around about there. And I'm going to place my next one around about here. So there are my 3 files. So basically I'm looking at trying to lay this out as efficiently as possible before I do anything else. So I might want to zoom up, and I can use my arrow keys to move these guys close but not too close. If you move them too close, it can basically, one cut can damage the next if they go too close and get too hot and that sort of thing. But what would be efficient is I need 2 of these, and I need 2 of these. So I'm going to press Control C, Command C, and Command V to paste that one. I'm going to move this guy over here, and I'm going to copy this one, Command C and Command V, and I might move it, rotate it around this way, try and keep it like 90 degrees by pressing the Shift, and move it into around about here. And that's sort of taken up as little space as I can possibly take up. Now I'd like to put some text on the front of one of my things to tell me what it's for. So basically let's just put some text over here, and I'm going to look at the text, and I'm going to basically use the text tool to type out the word Pencils, pencils. So it's going to be a pencils box. And you can see the text is, I'm going to click on this, is pretty small at the moment. So I'm going to basically size it up. Let's just try 80 points. That's way too big, so it's maybe going to be, let's just go 50 points. And I might change it to something a little bit more noteworthy, like that. And now I'm going to move it in place, so I'm going to drag it over here. The color of it is sort of important because some people will look at it and go, well, am I going to cut that or am I going to etch that? They're not going to know. So basically we're going to set the color to be red of the pencils. And the final thing I need to do once I've got it in place and I'm happy with it is to right click on that text and go create outlines. If you don't do this, this won't work. So you won't get any etching happening. So that's basically what I need to do. I'm going to save that now. Once that's saved, I can then send that to the queue to be cut. I might just move this little guy up here, a bit closer, a bit further this way. So that's what I'm going to basically cut out on the laser cutter, and that's what I'm going to send to the technician to cut that out.